The one thing that's missing from all monologues, you say, what is it? Could you get show business like creeps like me doing the monologue about policy in the world, and then it affects you people more than it affects me. Not that I'm that large, but, you know, I've been chipping away. And so I think you have to include real people in the monologue, or the money, as we now really call it. So they'll, you know, even if they're talking or not, it doesn't matter. But the point is, let's talk first about Rush Limbaugh. Now, you're a black man. Can I touch you here? I hope the angle's right. I don't want it to be from here. Can I touch you here? You won't think I'm... All right. So, you know, Rush Limbaugh, he's deaf and he's in a jam. Businessman DJ Ruff got into it last week. You know what I'm saying? Now, my opinion is, correct me if I'm wrong, black people don't care what he said because they'd rather hear him say his real feelings than smile on their face as he drives past the house or the suburbs. What do you think? Were you offended by Russ, or you just don't give a damn? Mm-hmm. Right, you just want to, it was just fun to see all the white people scurrying about trying to apologize. All right, he pled out to rehab. Apparently, it was like a hearing impaired, waiting for the dope to kick in kind of thing. Waiting for his, dare I say it, his rush. But I say big ups to Donovan McNabb. That brother still can't get a cab, so wave your hands in the air like you're Steve McNair. Go. Wow. First up, let's take a look. Let's talk about Rush. Take a look at this clip of Rush Limbaugh.
What we've had here is a little social concern in the NFL. I think the media has been very desirous that a black quarterback do well.
Now, Patrice, be honest. Black people could care less about what Rush said. You don't care. You just, you know, like I said, you've seen the white people jump up and be like,
here's what he said. He said, the black quarterback thing, there's 10 black quarterbacks who start in the NFL and like 5 of them suck. So it's not about, if it was just Randall Cunningham in the league by himself like it was back in the day playing, you could go with his comment.
Joe Gilliam.
Even Joe Gilliam. But now, there's too many black quarterbacks left there. If he didn't say black, he would have been fine. He would have been fine.
Rush would never be fine at any point because he's a thoroughgoing moron. It's not so much that he's racist as he's a complete cretin with nothing to say whatsoever.
No.
Thank you. Good night.
He's not stupid. All right, but can you say one thing, please, stupid? Is the fact is ESPN execs said, look, we got to get ratings up this year. We're going to bring in Rush. He's going to have his opinion. You know how he is. Let him say what he wants. And then they let him say what he wants. And they're like, oh, that's what Rush says. He can say what. And then the minute it becomes a scandal, ESPN execs are like, oh, we don't know what happened there. Rush is crazy. Jackson didn't say it. They sold everybody out like always.
You would have thought that they would have stayed with Rush after he said that because the entire reason for hiring him is he's sensational and you know he's going to say something messed up after 3.
Exactly.
But he's not a sports guy. He never belonged on that show.
Good McNabb is a good. Yeah,
unless the sport is outdoing Winona Ryder at boot Oxycontin.
What did Nazi? Oh,
is that a fat joke? I didn't even get that. But I know
you're out of the loop. You got to get in there.
I never heard of it. He just doesn't belong on a sports show because he's not a knowledgeable sports guy. He's a fat conservative nerd. He's the guy that would say, is the quarterback going to make a home run? Nobody wants to hear what he's talking about when it comes to sports.
Yeah, but just because he said that, he shouldn't lose his job. If we're going to have freedom of speech, then a white guy should be able to say something.
Shut up about white guys. Let me tell you something. White guys need to shut up. Y'all been talking forever.
Let me tell you something.
Just shut up. He shouldn't have said the dude was his color. He should have said Donald. But that has nothing to do. See,
that's everything that we're talking about.
White people always.
Patrice,
this is white on white crime. Black people, because black it's an attack. Here's the race riot. The race war is going to be liberal whites versus conservative whites. Black people don't care. We want to argue race all the time. That's y'all making each other quit and fire. We don't care.
But you do care. And Dusty Baker said something that was also, kind of politically incorrect. But liberal whites will never hold a black guy to the same standards they hold other white people to, because if you're a liberal white, you're a closet little dirty racist, and that's why you don't.
Dusty Baker said something that was factual. White people don't function well in the sun.
He said, imagine you in the sun. No,
you have to read. He doesn't read what we're talking about.
Shut up. That was a good reference.
was a good reference. He looked like an after. I didn't like his stupid sip after.
Yeah. He did not sip like stupid. Exactly. He sat there like he's some fourth grade black intellectual with dreadlocks. Yeah. Nosferatu. Yeah. I go to the movies. Shut up, you probably said Kill Bill 6 times. You don't even know what Nosferatu is. All right. The socialist mayor of Paris has made convicted cop killer Mumia Abu Jamal an honorary citizen. Now, Proops, no one can support this, but somehow, if anybody does, it'd be in your neck of the woods.
Why do you have to say that I would do that? Don't you see that the French do this just to tweak us, man? I mean, they're French.
Supporting a guy that murdered somebody tweaking.
Do you think that they're having a French talk show right now called Le Crowd Difficile?
Because none of you understood that.
Yes, they did. Just because of some issue here, they think it was absolutely something that French people do to mess with us because they're anti-death penalty. They're going to take the most extreme case they can find, lift it up into the public view, and rub your face in it.
It's not about the death penalty, though. I know what you're saying, but it's about, first of all, an odd choice, Mumia, because he's actually not a coward and he's fired a weapon in his life, so that goes completely against anything in French history. I didn't expect that to get anything. But it's because the French they hate Americans. This has gone beyond just a little tweaking. Yes. Because they want to be seen as equals. They're never going to be seen as equals. They're never going to be seen as equals because we bailed them out of prison rules.
That's right. I've been to Montreal, and they're like,
they're never going to be seen as equals by Americans. We don't care what you think politically. We don't care what you think about worldviews, and that's the way it is. Yeah, we're not trying to get our attention.
One of those French,
I'm sorry. I was going to say that stands for every country. We don't care about anybody.
No country likes each other. I hate when people go, everyone hates America. Guess what? India hates Pakistan. Yeah. Everybody hates everybody.
Yeah, but the common denominator is everybody hates America.
No, nonsense.
No, you know what? And I agree with you, man.
I say stuff and nonsense.
Americans love this whole thing about putting themselves on the cross and going, everybody hates us. Why do they hate us? Everybody hates everyone. If you go to France, they hate Germans more than they could ever hate us, and Germans hate French people more than they could ever hate us.
They hate Germans. They teamed up with them against us in the UN. Those jizz buckets when it came to the Iraq War.
Okay, folks. Speaking of hate, we all hate commercialism, but we all love commercials. Ponder that while you watch these. We'll be right back. All I know about the Kobe case is that every time they interview the Lakers about Kobe, they all go, hey man, let the jury decide. Now, if the brothers are saying let the jury decide, I can only assume it's their version of Brutus is an honorable man, okay? Even OJ's like, I think the guy did it. He's got evil eyes, you know? Even OJ was like, oh, anyway. Hey, how many Ramones did you beat up today? No, is it? Oh, finally, I got one. Now what does everybody say? Nobody knows what really happened in that room that night except Kobe and the girl. So guess what? We all know what happened. We'll do a little reenactment. Lauren, yes? Okay? Audience member, I don't know, have you ever acted before? No. Well, believe me, don't be nervous. I have the kind of talent where I make other people look great. Talent. That's Steve, who's who took this job after, several convictions. All right, so, had to find a way to work it into the paycheck. All right, so here we are. Big hotel suite. You guys wouldn't know, but I know what they're like. And, so, headline, you don't get the... So it's the big hotel suite. You walk in, it's 11 o'clock. I'm Kobe, okay? So you walk into the room. I'm like, hey, how you doing? So you want to chill or? And then your lines are over there.
This suite is dope. Did your team pay for it?
Nah, yeah, more or less, because I'm here for my knee operation. So I don't know if it's insurance or whatever.
Can you get movies that just came out?
Yeah, I was just checking out Sandra Bullock. Then I put on Joanna, man. That was hilarious. Come on now. What's up?
Clay Kobe, please, I'm not here for that.
No. Why are you crying? Go get a Toblerone for the minibar. You feel better, baby. All right, thank you very much. That was very good acting. See? Oh, you can keep the mic. She's still on the mic. Oh, that was a damn good performance. It was kind of meek, but kind of sexual, and who knows what happened in that room. But I know Joanna Man was probably on it too. Everybody seems to have everybody has an opinion on this Kobe case. Let's take a look at this
Kobe
thing.
Bryant is a superstar. Seems like he can get any woman he wants.
He should have not done, taken her to the room to begin with. I mean, it just wasn't right. But.
She went there voluntarily to his room.
Yeah,
so she put herself in
because
that
of the
position
celebrity status, though.
It's just the way of how women are trying to get into power.
So they probably got wise.
Oh, he's a superstar. I'll go scream rape and give me some money.
Every guy has those feelings sometimes down the road, right? But you refrain from it because you don't want to put yourself in a bad situation.
That guy really was dumb.
Jim, those feelings.
You see the lady?
What?
Jim, what do you think about this case? You're a man that's, well, let's face it, been brought up on charges many times.
A few misunderstandings. I'm sure Kobe's going to be happy to see this episode and realize that a guy with a body like Fred Mertz just played him in a sketch. I think that I really don't know what to think of this whole thing. I really don't. I don't know if he did or he didn't do it. I just know that if his penis caused as much damage as possibly 3 other men, Kobe, applause.
But what do you think about the 3 other men thing? Seriously, do you think that should affect this case as guys?
Yes.
Well, of course it should. She had 3 other sperms in her panties, Colin. No. What does that say? I gotta tell you something. The case should be dismissed.
No.
She's a stinking ass.
She's a good girl.
Hey, look.
Well, that don't mean she didn't get raped, but she wears the same panties.
There you go. The defense has a job, and that's to make her a hoe because he's a big baller, man. I mean, they're going to make her a hoe no matter what she did because that's their defense.
Greg, she had 3 other sperms in her panties.
Yeah, why wouldn't you at least change your underwear, for Christ's sake? I mean, you can't
That's
go
in the
5
least
days.
In the least, she's filthy.
Yeah.
If she's not lying, she's not clean.
She might have had underwear with, like, Tuesday written on it, and it might not have gotten around to that rotation. That's a possibility.
I have no problem with them trying to make her out to be the woman that she seemed to be because he's ruined. Even if he's acquitted for the rest of his career, every time he thinks the best, you're going to hear rapist Kobe Bryant for 3.
He's a rapist. He's a rapist.
That's right.
First of all,
They will.
the hypocrisy.
Kobe taking it to the hole. Kobe Bryant raped the ball away from the.
It's all fun and games. But let me tell you something.
Well, it is a comedy show.
But that's true. But let me ask you this. First of all, the hypocrisy of you lonely comedians daring to say something. If I check any of your underwear, there'd be DNA samples from this morning, last night, you lying, masturbating bastards. You're comedians just like me. It's just... Folks, don't miss these commercials. They're one of the few American industries we have left. We'll be right back. Adventures of Kid Quinn. Now, I got the first edition today. I decided to kick off my book tour right here in the Tough Crowd Reading Room. Okay, it's Kid Quinn story time, everybody.
Yay!
See? That's the kind of enthusiasm I wish those CSs would have. Don't worry, kids. Anyway, the bottom line is this. On Kid Quinn's first day of school, he was the new kid in town, so he ate lunch by himself. Ready? There's me. Just as my friend Patrice describes me, fat head, no shoulders. He's a nice guy, isn't he? Okay, next we go to, suddenly Kid Quinn is joined by some not-so-friendly new friends. Oh, alright, this is exactly what I'm talking about. See this? I told the publisher I got jumped by black kids. He gives me 5 white guys and 2 girls. Looks like I'm being beat up by the yearbook staff. Well, kids, welcome to life. There's the truth, and then there's what everybody wishes was the truth. Alright, next. Kid Quinn takes his dog Pickles for a walk. Now, of course, the real Pickles was a scrappy, one-eared pit bull I found tied to a tree in Prospect Park. Taught how to roll over. She slept in my bed and protected me. We were inseparable, Pickles and I, and, well, I think we all know how that turns out, right, kids? Well, let me break it down. No. Let me break it down for you. These people, too much internet. Love. It comes after you, and even though you're scared, you open the door to your heart, let love in, and then what? Anybody, kids? Love dies from internal injuries. when it gets run over by a gypsy cab. Let's keep reading. Kid Quinn throws himself into his studies and gets his first A. This is part true. I did hit the books after Pickles passed away. But so what? Good grades never made a difference in anyone's life. You might not believe me, right? Okay? If grades mattered, why would this man, who's a Harvard Law School graduate, come on my show twice a week because he needs the money? And this man blew me off because he has meetings in L.A. for some awful sitcom deal. His name is Rich Voss, kids. Doesn't he look kind of stupid to you? Yes. Dummy. Now, let's skip to the end. Kid Quinn meets Holly. Kid Quinn meets his girl, Molly. Ready? Molly was actually, once again, Molly, to make her a little red. She was actually a dark-skinned Dominican girl named Blanca. And I was 5, she was 7. We kissed at the handball courts on Valentine's Day. And she pulled down her underpants and made me touch a pee-pee. That's right, kids. Blanca was my first tranny. She broke up with me. Now, kids, you might say, oh, my God, he's ruining our life. Look. The end. Let's just go to the end. Now, kids, how old are you, kids? 7, whatever, 8, right? Whatever. You little starry-eyed angel kids. I can see the illusion of innocence is starting to fade. And that's good because, let's face it, what is childhood but a series of humiliating injustices that you spend the rest of your life avenging? I mean, look at me, kids. Why do I tell jokes every night, even after the show? Not enough? It's not enough? Fill the void? But kids, because I long for the validation I felt with the only girl I ever loved. And what was her name, kids?
Long Girl!
Pickles.